What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you right now today why I'm switching from iMovie over to Final Cut Pro. Right here, right now, on this channel. So, you ready? Here we go. The thing is, I have to simplify my process, especially since we're moving to, gonna be on two different platforms, both YouTube and television. If you've seen those videos where I'm singing in multiple boxes, or I bring somebody in and we're singing in multiple boxes, those videos take so much time. Okay, so like what you have to do in iMovie is, because you only have two video streams, I have to take each box and green screen it out if I'm going to do a green screen, which means I have to bring it in, set it up, and then do that, and then dump that as a thread and save it, and then do the next one, and then do the next one, and then do the next one. Then once I get them all done with all of the whatever the background is going to be, then I have to bring them all back in, only two at a time, and make one video line out of those two. And then okay, if you really want to get an understanding of why it's so insufficient, go check out the video. I guess I'll put it up right here or right here, wherever it's going to be. Go check out the video where I talk about how to do that, and you'll see it's a very inefficient process. Final Cut Pro is going to save me time on that. It's going to make everything easy because I don't have so many steps, just so many steps. Faster rendering. One of the things you have to be careful about in iMovie is that when you're rendering a product, you can have a lot of drop frames or different things that happen, and that's because it hasn't rendered properly if you dump it too fast, trying to hurry up and get done. So I've noticed that in using Final Cut Pro, it is very efficient with that. It gets done. Half the time I'm pretty much almost done, you know, with what I'm doing, and I've already noticed that the rendering is already almost finished, and I'm like, that's crazy. I'm not used to being able to go a lot faster. So definitely the rendering aspect is definitely better in iMovie. I'm sorry, Final Cut Pro. Quality at the end. I've noticed that because of the multiple steps that you often have to take to do some of the cool things that I like to do, you lose quality over time, and I've learned how to hide it from you all. You gotta watch some of my other videos where I show you how to hide it, but I shouldn't have to do that. I did one video, I'll play, matter of fact, it'll be here real quick. But that video, if you really look at all of the boxes there, the box on the bottom was the very first video that I started with where I'm singing bass. The video quality of that video versus the other videos in that sequence looks way messed up compared to the rest. And that's simply because the end process is gonna be worse because iMovie doesn't have the power of Final Cut Pro. So I want my ending quality to be just as good as it was when I filmed it. That's a big reason. The ability to have multiple streams at one time without the program going crazy. As a matter of fact, I'll play a clip from part of the TV show and I'll explain it, but I have 3 cameras going. And normally when you have 3 cameras, what you would have to do is put your main shot and your first camera on top in the timeline, and then film that and get that whole process done. Then dump it out to a finalize it, then bring it back in so that you can edit in your third shot in iMovie, because you can only have 2 video lines. It would drive me crazy, and it's that process. So with Final Cut Pro, I can just bring everything in all at once and do my cuts and do it all in one shot instead of rendering, going through, waiting on it to process for it to drop down to the end, then bring it back in, then bring the new video footage in. Hopefully I didn't do a green screen where I have to green screen that, you know, part out, and then bring that in and set that on top. You get the point. It's multiple video streams has been just phenomenal. I love it, and that's another reason why I got to make the switch. handling or the handling of 4K video. Now I do understand that iMovie can handle 4K video. That is true. But I will say this, iMovie doesn't handle it as well. It just doesn't. And I know they say it does, but it slows the process down. You notice it, and when you won't notice it until you go over to Final Cut Pro. Once you hit Final Cut Pro, you can definitely tell that iMovie struggles a little bit with it. I can put in multiple titles at the exact same time and have, just like I can do multiple videos, I can put 2 different title effects into a video, oh my God, without having to render it down and bring it back in and lose quality. It's such a dream come true. I still think that iMovie is a great program. I got my little shirt made so I could do the videos. Got the little, I love it. But I have to be honest, it's died of Final Cut Pro. You can see that it opens the door, kind of get your mind right for Final Cut Pro. But if you're using iMovie, I'm telling you, you need to go ahead. And if you're making a lot of videos, and I make a lot of videos, and now that we're getting ready to start coming on TV, yeah, you got to make the switch, bro. You got to do it. You got to just go on and just throw the 300 out there, get it, because once you spend the money, it's going to force you to sit down, and it's going to be money well spent. The best $300 I spent in programs, best money I spent in programs, I think, ever. And that's over Logic. And I think it's because I do so much video now. I'm not going to stop using iMovie. I'm not going to stop doing tutorials for iMovie. I just am not going to be using iMovie exclusively, and I'm just not going to be using it as much. I am going to be pretty much switching over to Final Cut Pro, and I may start doing videos kind of showing some things why you want to make that switch. It's definitely worth it. But if you're not making professional videos, and if you're not, then it's not worth it. Don't do it. Go ahead and do it. If you're just doing your, some things for the family or whatever, it might not be a good idea. But if you're talking about doing YouTube, it's worth it. I should have done this as soon as back last February, when I decided to take it serious, I should have done it. So you should do it too. If you're taking YouTube serious, you got to do it. All right. So go ahead and do it, man. So listen, that's really it. I just wanted to let you guys know that I am making the switch, and I'm happy with my money spent. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a good little deal. So catch me in the next video. Peace. But we want to put the speakers to the test. Did Simmons create something that's actually game changing? Is it gimmick or is it game changing?